Lissa here for a very special interview. We have Nicole with us here today. We're going to be sharing a little bit about her journey into plant-based foods and a little bit into raw foods, and sharing a little bit more about how she does it. And so maybe some inspiration for people out there. So welcome, Nicole. So
thank you.
Here.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on your channel. And for those of you who might want to watch that interview, I will share the link in the description box below so you can watch. I thought since you interviewed me, it's my turn to interview you.
Yes. And you were my very first interview.
I'm so
for the raw vegan series. So very special.
Oh, darling. Yes. And so, yeah, I wanted to have you on so we could talk a little bit more, but from your perspective, I want to get a little bit of that story. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how long you've been eating plant-based foods and how you came to the lifestyle.
Okay. So a little bit about me. I'm very free-spirited. I love to dance. I'm very creative. I'm an artist. I act, and I've been doing that for like 8 years. Wow. So I do commercials and print and films and TV. But of course, I'm not like a big time actor, but you know, I love doing that. So then the second passion of mine is my lifestyle, the way I eat. I've been eating plant-based for 10 years. As of last October, it made 10 years, so just a little over 10 years. And I haven't looked back. I love eating this way. I feel my best when I eat plant-based. And the reason why I even began this journey 10 years ago is because I had an injury. So I had chronic pain. And a friend of mine, we were talking about how diet plays a big role in the ailments you deal with in your body. Sometimes just eliminating certain things can make a huge difference. So we had that discussion one day. The next day I went plant-based, cold turkey, no transitioning, just straight up. I eliminated all animal products. And that was my, the first day of just bountifulness.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
A couple of months of eating that way and, you know, getting all the animal products out of my diet, I started feeling better. The pain, the excruciating pain I was dealing with, you know, minimized big time. And it eventually went away. Sometimes I might have flare-ups still, like if I'm doing too much of what caused it in the first place. But other than that, like I'm pain-free. Unless I'm doing something that is aggravating it, you know. But yeah, I've been eating this way and I love it. I mean, I try to focus on, you know, well, I don't know if that's any of your questions, so I don't want to be jumping ahead, but so yes, 10 years, and that's why I started, and I love it. I love it. I shout it to the world.
That is so awesome. Yeah. So moving on into that question, I was going to say, what types of plant-based foods do you eat? Because I know there's like tons of different ways to do a plant-based diet. There's the complete junk food, and then there's all the way to the raw food. Where do you fall in there?
Yeah. So I would say the last 2 years, I would consider myself someone who eats high raw. So I eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, salads, smoothies and stuff. But then I also have cooked foods here and there. I don't want to, I have done fully raw a few times and I feel great. But for some reason, I just can't stick to it 100%. Well, we're working on that. But I find that high raw is a good balance for me because I can still get the good feeling of eating fully raw, but I'm able to still have my cooked foods. So there's like a little balance for me and it just works well for me. So but before the last couple of years, you know, I ate primarily cooked foods. So I would eat a lot of beans and rice and the main staples of my diet. These are the main staples of my diet. So beans, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, smoothies. Did I say salads?
No, not yet. Salads.
Salads. So those are my staples of a whole foods diet. Then there's times where I might, you know, have a little treat. I'm not perfect. I might go, and have some vegan nachos or a plant-based burger. But, overall, I try to focus on whole foods because that makes me feel my best. And because like you said, there's different ways to eat. You can eat you can eat an animal-free diet, but eat junk. Mm-hmm. You can have French fries and Oreo cookies and Fritos, the plain one. That's all plant-based vegan, but it's junk, it's processed, and it's not good for you. Yeah. So, it's good to focus on whole foods. And when people always talk to me about wanting to transition to that, they want to go straight to the replacement stuff. So all the fake meats and just all the fake stuff, right? And if that's what you need to do to transition, okay, but try not to focus on that. Try not to focus on like, I need to replace meat, I need to replace this. Just focus on whole foods because that's going to make you feel great. Because some people want to compare it like, oh, I had a chickenless chicken burger and it's not going to taste what you're expecting. So then you get thrown off and you're turned off by vegan food. But if you focus on just the whole foods and experience what the plant-based foods are about, then you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. And that's what I say too in my videos is that raw food is never going to be cooked food either, right? It has its own flavors, its own personality, and it's in a different it's in a different category, really.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to force it to act like foods from our past, then we can feel disappointment instead of coming at it as like, I'm going to really learn how to enjoy cucumbers, for example, or rice or beans or what have you. And to just accept that it's not going to be that overstimulating high fat, salt, sugar, oil products, because they're designed to make us addictive to them, like the chips and the Doritos and all of that. They're designed that way.
Some people are like, vegan food is nasty. I'm like, do you eat apples? Do you eat salads? Okay, well, that's vegan.
Right, I know, I've said that too. Like guacamole, I'm like, you don't like, seriously? Like,
right. I'm all, you've been eating plant-based, probably 50% of your diet is plant-based and you don't even know it because your focus is the fake meats and the replacement stuff, No, plant-based is some black-eyed peas and rice, some doggone fruit, all them little fruit bowls you make, the smoothies you make, it's plant-based.
Yep.
Boo-boo.
Totally right. So what are your favorite things about, aside from the pain relief, what are your favorite things about a high raw plant-based diet?
I feel light. I always feel light and free. I feel like I can skip and fly. No, I really do. I feel so light. And then like, I won't say I'm like super energetic because I feel like I'm already to the top. Awesome. Yeah, I'm already an energetic person. So I don't know if that makes me more energetic. I'm just like, but I will say that it probably adds to it. I just feel clear in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I feel, I just feel good in my body and my mind. Like when I eat too much cooked foods, because I'm not going to lie, for like, up until about 2 weeks ago, for 2 months, I don't know what I was going through, but my hunger was through the roof and it was off the hook. And like the raw stuff just wasn't working for me. So for like 2 months, I was eating like pretty much all cooked food. And it was satiating me, but I was feeling heavy. I was feeling I just didn't feel good in my body. I just felt like, ugh, you know what I mean? I'm not saying cooked food is bad, people. Yeah. I'm just saying like for myself, it made me feel different. And I didn't like the way I feel. So I'm like, I'm back to my high raw because that's what works for me. It makes me feel good in my body, in my mind, in my soul. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And I feel lighter again because I was feeling like a thump.
Yeah, that's classic too. And people need to kind of experiment with that and see where they do feel their best.
Yes.
What that balance is for them.
Right.
So what are some of your favorite meals that kind of help you or actually we'll reword that. What were some of the meals that helped you during your transition, and what are some of your favorite meals now compared?
I'm so basic and so boring when it comes to food. Like, I'm not boring, but just like, I'm very typical, easy. I like easy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I'm working on trying to get to some recipes and stuff. I still have to try some of yours. I'm lazy. Let me just keep it real. I'm lazy. But like some of my favorite things to eat, like, I mean, I'm happy with, you know, a salad with some tomatoes and some cucumbers and some tahini that I make. Like, I'll get the tahini, add some apple cider vinegar, a little bit of water, stir it till I get that thick, but you're able to pour it consistency, right? And put some seasonings on my salad with some sriracha. Nah.
Good.
That is like my favorite salad. I just love that, the tahini mixed with the seasonings and just everything. That's like my favorite. And then my other like go-to thing is like some type of a bean, some brown rice, and then a side of some vegetable with maybe some hummus on top or maybe some tahini on top. I'm very simple, but it's so good to me, and it makes me feel good in my body. Mm-hmm. But my go-tos are smoothies. Like, do you want me to tell you what I eat? Like,
sure, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a day in Nicole's life.
Of course, every day is different, right? But I'll say what I've been eating lately. And so normally I try to eliminate processed foods out of my diet. But let me just keep it real. Lately, I was getting tired of certain things for breakfast, so I needed to change it up. Normally, I would have either a smoothie or fruit for breakfast. Every now and then, I would have oatmeal if I just needed something heavier. But I just was like, I need a break from that for breakfast. So I've been having some yogurt from Trader Joe's. It has protein in it, and it's not yogurt, not regular yogurt.
Yeah, we know.
Okay. It has like 5 grams of protein, and I get the vanilla. It's made from almond or something like that. I've been eating that with berries on top, like raspberries and blueberries, and then I'll have a side with some fruit. Like I've been either cutting up some oranges or having some pineapple with it. That's like a breakfast right now. That's what I've been eating like every day for the last, 6 days. I just needed a break from my normal smoothies and just regular fruit by itself. And then I usually will just go all the way, no snack. And then lunchtime will come. And so either I'll switch it up. If I have a cooked meal for lunch, my dinner will be raw and vice versa. So I've been having a salad, the salad I just described earlier, with, tomatoes and cucumbers and broccoli. I'll put some broccoli in there too. And with my tahini dressing, or I might do hummus for my dressing. And then with romaine, okay. And I might start off, I forgot to say, I might start off with a piece of fruit, like some oranges or something, then have the salad. And then dinner will be like some type of a bean, whether it be a kidney, a black, or chickpeas with some brown rice, some vegetable, maybe some bell peppers and onions and broccoli, or maybe some cabbage or something. And then maybe some hummus on mixed in with the beans, or maybe some tahini mixed in. And that's like a kind of a sample day. At least that's how I've been eating lately.
Yeah.
There's times where I go fully raw because my body is craving that. And it's just like, I need a reset. And normally that can be, a sample day for that would be either a smoothie or fruit for breakfast. If I get hungry in the middle, I'll have fruit for snacks. And then that salad, either I'll have the salad for lunch with some fruit in front of it, or I'll have that for dinner. And then I think like it's similar to how your diet, you and your husband eat. You might have an ice cream as a meal. So sometimes I'll do that too. And bananas is always my base because that makes it creamy and then I'll add some other mixed fruit to it. And I'll have like an ice cream for a meal as well. So, those are kind of some samples of how I eat, like whether if I'm eating all raw or if I'm eating high raw.
Nice. So what's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite blend? Like if you were to make it right now, what would you be craving?
Okay, so you're not gonna like this part I know how you are about fat and fruit, but I'm just going to keep it real because that's what I do. But my favorite ice cream is, okay, so bananas with the mixed fruit, but I might add a tablespoon or two of almond butter. Sorry.
I do apologize. The thing is that we know. The thing is, we know, right? We know what it can do to our bodies when you mix that. You get gas, bloating, but yeah, just knowing that that's what happens. It's obviously your choice, totally, to do it. But yeah, no shame, no shame.
But like the other day, I had some. I didn't have any almond butter in it. It was just all fruit. Sometimes I might add. I know I'm plant-based, so I still use honey. So I might add honey to it if it just needs a little bit more sweetener, but most of the time I don't even add that. But that's my second one. But I like to add raspberries or some type of berry to make the color change. You know, when it gets like kind of a purplish color or a fuchsia, it's so pretty. But yeah, I would say the favorite one is with the almond butter, but then, you know, I try not to do that because I every time I do it, you pop up in my head. Don't mix fats with fruit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not perfect. No.
It's all good. We actually mix maple syrup in the bottom, maple syrup vanilla in the bottom of our Vitamix, which put a 1/4 cup of liquid in the bottom. So of course we choose maple. You could also use date water. That's a really good one too. It takes a little bit of time to make date water, but if you put like, I don't know, 6 or 8 dates in a cup or 2 of water and you let that sit in the fridge for 4, 5, 6 days, the water is like, it almost tastes just like maple syrup.
Oh,
incredible. It's incredible.
What's your ice cream? Your ice cream?
It's so good. Yeah. And then when you put a little bit of liquid in the bottom of the Vitamix, it actually helps to blend the bananas a little easier. So yeah.
That sounds good. Sometimes I use maple syrup as well. That's actually better to use, huh? Than honey.
Well, from the ethical side, obviously, but yeah, we choose that. We choose it over agave as well because agave is closer to high fructose corn syrup.
Okay.
So we try to avoid the agave. We just stick with the maple, but
maybe I'll just start using that. I'll just start using that instead because I have that too. Yeah.
And as a Canadian, I mean, the maple syrup kind of has a little bit of a special spot in my soul. So, so moving on, I'm wondering in the beginning, so taking back 10 years, what were some of your struggles moving over to plant-based diet, if you had any?
The people talking smack, you know, friends, people just not understanding my diet and me feeling all like I had to explain myself all the time. Certain places I would go with them that were not, I mean, you can find something almost anywhere you go, but is it going to be fun to eat? Because I can go to an American restaurant and get some French fries and a salad. You know what I mean? But that's not fun for me sometimes. Like maybe I like to go to cultural restaurants because they usually have a lot of, what do you call it? Vegan options, right? But so the struggles were some of the restaurants I would go with family or friends because they wanted to go there. And I don't want to be all that person that's making things difficult. So I'm just going to go. But then with the options for me just weren't fun. You know what I mean? That was kind of a struggle. I mean, it wasn't a big struggle. I managed to get through it, but, and just trying to explain myself to people, some people just didn't understand. You don't eat meat? No. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You're the one who still eat meat. What's wrong with you? But yeah, it was just a lot of, you know, smack talking. People had to kind of defend myself a lot.
Yeah. So how do you feel today with those people? Maybe if they're still in your life or whatnot, how do they act now compared to when you first went vegan?
Oh, you know, everybody, they know, you know, it's been 10 years. So it's like, oh, she gonna bring her own snacks. Like every time I go somewhere, almost I always bring stuff because I never know what, if I go to somebody's house or something. Well, I'm not even doing a lot of that right now because of COVID. But before COVID, if I'm going to people's house, or even my sister, I do go over her house sometimes. I'll bring my own stuff because I don't know what she's gonna have at her house. Mm-hmm. And I also have to eat very often, so I always have to have something with me because I get sick if I don't eat after a certain time. It's so annoying. I've been like this forever, but so everybody's accepted it. They're all on board with it, so it's all good now because it's like, it's been 10 years, everybody's like, and then if, I have one of my good friends, she also eats the same way. So I miss it when I used to live in LA because, she and I would always go to vegan restaurants together. And like now out here, nobody eats that way except for me. Now my husband, he does eat a lot of plant-based foods and vegan foods because of me, but he's not fully. I don't know if you saw that video I put on Instagram.
No, I didn't. What was it?
Not to be talking about my husband, but he was making some bacon.
Oh no! Oh, with your hat, yeah, you were wearing.
So I put on my shower cap to cover my hair because I didn't want the smell getting in my hair.
I did see that.
I made a little joke out of it, but it's just like, but he does eat. He probably only eats meat like 2 times a week, two days out of the week. The rest of the week he'll eat plant-based. Inspired by me.
Awesome. And that's the best. We have to be the example to others.
Yeah.
So they can see, and they'll change in their own time.
Yeah, I every now and then I'm like, come on, baby, just go on and switch over. Just go on and do it 100%.
Oh,
I'm still working on him.
Aww. Well, he's got a great woman to support him. If he decides to move over, you're welcome. So with your career, I wanted to ask, how has a plant-based diet helped in that aspect?
Ooh. So I work with people on parole. And we help them transition into employment after they are released from incarceration. I would say just keeping me healthy to have a sane mind to deal with that population. Because I deal with a lot of disrespect. I deal with it's a tough field. It's a tough field, and I'm kind of at the, I've reached my limit here, but like eating just healthy overall. I'm not going to say I'm 100%. Sometimes I do have a little junk food, but it helps me stay healthy and a healthy mind to be able to deal with those types of things, I don't know if I'm answering your question right.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. So if you a lot of times I'll look back on my past and think, if I didn't change, where would I be today? And how would I be dealing with the stresses of life today? Mm-hmm. Having gone 6 years, still eating the way I was before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so looking back, and if you hadn't made those changes 10 years ago, how would you be dealing with things today? How would your life be different if you hadn't changed?
Well, I probably wouldn't be as healthy and recover from certain things. If I have some type of a pain or something like that, I wouldn't recover as quickly as I do. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be as active. Well, I've always been active, but now that I'm getting older, normally people, as they get older, they stop working out, they stop doing certain things, but that doesn't stop me. I'm still active. I'm still, dancing, riding my bike and all this stuff. Not that I'm like that old, but I am kind of old. I'm 46. But I mean, it's keeping me in good health, and helping me, my mind and how I deal with things. And I'm not going to say I'm all perfect when it comes to my clients, because sometimes it does get to me. I've cried a few times, and that's just because of over time, just tired of the disrespect I deal with and stuff like that. But I think I'm acting better than I would before I used to eat plant-based.
Yeah, it really does make a difference when we're eating higher vibe foods
Mm-hmm.
and we're not putting those junk foods into our bodies. We
Yeah.
can deal with stress a lot better. And also,
Yeah.
like you said, you're already like vibrant
Yeah.
and bouncy and happy, and I love your energy. And it's like almost accentuated when you're eating proper
Right.
foods. It's not like lowering your vibe,
Yeah. It's
feeling.
magnified.
Mhm.
It
Love those
magnifies
earrings,
it.
by the way.
Huh?
Your earrings are so pretty.
Oh, thank you. My sister makes these.
Oh wow, really?
Yes,
Are so
she's
gorgeous.
actually rebranding and she changed her whole name, and she's making different styles and stuff. She's Axe and Ailey, and named after her kids. Axe is my nephew, and then Ailey, Aylee. So yeah, so I'm proud of her. She's like doing some big stuff. She's gonna have more than earrings now, like personally.
Wow, that's
So I
awesome.
have to represent her earrings.
Totally. I love how your lipstick and your earrings kind of blend into your shirt. Oh, so gorgeous. And
Thank
by the
you.
way, looking amazing for 46. I must
Thank you. Thank you so
say.
much. I still can't believe I'm 46. That's crazy. I
Time goes by so fast. Oh my gosh. Speaking
don't feel
of,
it.
I know, neither do I, right? It's like, really? I can't be that old. But speaking of getting older, if you could go back in time to yourself from 10 years ago and give yourself some advice, what would it be? When it comes to the moving over to plant-based.
Oh, advice about when it comes to moving over to plant-based.
Yeah, like if you could go back in time and maybe give words of support or tips or tricks or something that could help out your older self from back then.
Yeah, I would just talk to myself about focusing on the whole foods and eating clean, because it's a struggle off and on with me with junk food. Like overall, my diet is clean. Overall, I eat all, whole foods and non-processed stuff. But when I do eat all that junk, I feel gross. I don't feel good in my, mentally and physically. And I would tell myself that this journey, you need to focus on your health. It's not about just your food is your fuel. So it shouldn't just be well, it should taste good, but I'm saying, like, when you eat those vegan cupcakes or whatever, it's for the taste, but when you eat clean, it's for the taste, but it's also for health. So I would just kind of make myself focus on that and kind of turn away from all that other stuff that doesn't make me feel good. Because I know that each time I eat it, I'm going to feel a certain way. So it's just like, why even go through that? Just for a few seconds of pleasure and which is not really pleasure if you feel gross after.
Yeah, exactly. I know we're such reward driven creatures. Like we want that taste in the moment and we forget about how we're going to feel after.
Yeah.
And even when we think about how we're going to feel after, it's not enough of a deterrent. We have to focus on how we would feel if we ate something better.
Yeah.
Right. And how you're going to feel, like you're going to feel empowered and hydrated and happy and healthy. And it's more of a draw to choose something healthier than focusing on the negatives, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just want to change that whole thing. And I wish that this whole 10 years was just like all clean and just all vibrant, so that I could just reap the benefits 100% and not 90%. You know what I mean? I want to live it, and I still can make that change. It's just I'm hard-headed, or I might change, right, for a while, and then then somebody has a get together, or well, we're not doing that too much lately, but maybe a special occasion comes up, like my anniversary or my birthday or my husband's birthday, and you just want to have some sweet dessert or whatever. And then, because you tasted that sugar, now you want more the next day. Next thing you're up for 4 or 5 pounds. No.
Yeah, that's what I call that the trap. Like we feel good, we're doing good. We're like, oh yeah, we can have like a little bit, it'll be okay just having that little bit, but it's like it opens the floodgates and you're just like it's so difficult to get back to where you were when you allow yourself to have that. And it's
Yeah.
a difficult thing to maneuver around because I mean, these foods are so readily available. They're there and we grew up with them being part
Mm-hmm.
of reward and tradition and birthdays, like you say, like it's always
Yeah,
part of that. So it's hard to break those habits.
it is. And what's the saying that you say about not being able to do moderation? How did you
Oh,
say
yeah.
it?
Yeah, I say moderation is a word we use to justify eating things we already know we shouldn't have. And another one too
There
is
it is.
complete abstinence is easier than perfect moderation.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
I got to remember that.
Because
Just stay away from it.
right? Yeah, just stay away, say no, and then a lot of people, when they say no, they are stuck in that negative mindset area where they're like, oh, well, I can't have this and I can't have that. Instead of staying in that position when you say no, focus
Yeah.
on the positive. Like get
Yeah.
out of that and be like, I can have like this and this and this, and this is going to make me feel great. And being
Yeah.
excited about that and just letting that other stuff go.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Just let it go.
Yep. For 10 years before I went raw, I dealt with the same stuff. It's so difficult. So difficult.
I strive to be like you.
Oh, well, just so you know, you're doing so good with your choices because, I mean, we see fast food is like such a massive industry and
Yeah.
junk food and the processed food. And it's insane how much people are still purchasing all of that. But you're doing so much better than where you were 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Man, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Taco. Oh, my Lord. What was I eating? I used to eat some junk, like crap. I mean, I hate that word, but just, that's gross when I'm thinking about the way I used to eat. Like it was bad, like all bad. And I ate like processed foods all the time. Like the canned soups and like for lunches, just can and process, fast food, just yeah. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for the for how far I've come.
that's so
Wow, that's crazy. I never really just sat there and thought about the way I used to eat. I haven't really thought about that until you just said that. I'm thinking about, wow, like that's big. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. Round of applause. Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, because we don't really think about that, even though we're not perfect, because there's no perfect.
Mm-mm.
We're never perfect. And that's something that I like to talk about on my channel too, is like there's like this level of perfection that people are trying to get to. And it's really just about making better choices and looking at how far you've come, because the you from 10 years ago would have done anything to be where you are today. Be pain-free and to feel better in your body and light and all of that stuff, deal with stress better. Would have done anything for that 10 years ago. And now look at where you are. You're doing
Yay. Oh, I want to throw in there that sometimes if I do have some type of a flare-up or some pain comes along my way or something, that's when I do go like fully raw. I'll do fully raw and then like it'll get better. It'll make that flare up or whatever it is go away. One time, I still don't know what the cause of that was, but I was living in LA and for 4 months, and I was eating plant-based. For 4 months, I had a headache every single day for 4 months, every single day. And I don't know what was going on. And the doctor wanted to give me some medicine. And at the time I was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to get rid of these on my own. I was determined. So I went raw for 42 days, completely raw. And then they stopped. I was like, it's amazing how even plant-based, I might still have some little issues sometimes, I'm not immune to, everything just because I eat plant-based. But anyway, my point is that going up another notch, right? So I already eat plant-based, going up another notch to completely raw can just really make a difference. It's happened before. One time I got vertigo. I went raw. It went away. The headaches every single day for 4 months. I went raw for 42 days. They stopped. There's times where I've just had some just flare-ups and pain just from using the computer too much or something like that. And eating raw.
Eating raw. It's like that hydration, the fiber, and all of the beauty that those foods have to offer us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so
it's amazing.
cool. It's amazing.
And now if I could just do it full-time, long-term.
Just got to focus one day at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time.
So you like to share a lot of plant-based stuff on your social media and talking about what you eat and stuff. So if somebody was to come to you and ask like suggestions or tips on how to embrace a plant-based or even high raw lifestyle, what do you typically say to them?
I literally say the same thing to everybody. And I always say, focus on eating whole foods. And I give them a list of stuff. I say fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, smoothies, salads. And then if you're eating cooked, you can do beans, you could do brown rice, you could do potatoes and sweet potatoes. I say, but what you want to do is make sure you focus on the whole foods and minimize the processed stuff, because that's not going to make you feel your best, you know, and all that processed stuff is just not good for you. I'm not saying I am 100% process free, but 99, or I'll say 96% of my diet is process free, you know. So that's what I always tell them, just focus on that, you know, go to the grocery store and just get these items here. And then you just have fun with it. Like you can, and I'll give some examples of, you know, you can eat a smoothie or fruit or oatmeal for breakfast, like if they want to eat cooked foods. I throw in some cooked ideas as well. So smoothie, fruit, or a fruit bowl, or oatmeal for breakfast. Snacks could be fruit. And if you, nuts and seeds, you can, but you don't want to eat too much fat, because Lissa said. And then I'll say salad, lunch could be like, you know, salads. You can also have beans and rice, or you could switch up. Lunch and dinners could be the same. You just switch it up, you know. But I was like, even pasta's not processed. Pasta is processed, but you know, it's not as bad as just eating like fake meats and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, you could do like marinara with some pasta, get the gluten-free, and some vegetables in there. You could do broccoli and bell peppers, and you know, I just give little ideas like that. But I always say just to focus on the whole foods, because that's where you're going to really experience what being plant-based is about.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, whole foods are where it's at. Nature knows best.
Yes.
On that note, our final question would be, how have you found a different connection with your food and your spirituality by switching over to plant-based diet?
Say that again.
So how has, well, I'll reword it a little bit. How has moving over to a plant-based diet changed or heightened your connection with food, nature, and your spirituality? Or has there been a change?
Well, as far as my spirituality, I feel, well, I'm a Christian. You know, I have a relationship with God, and I think like the diet plays a part on just how you feel and how you think and how your mind works, everything, right? So I would say that like over the 10 years, it's made me feel closer to God, just because everything is flowing well with my mind, everything is flowing well with my body. And it's just, I don't know, it's just opened up my eyes more to certain things, you know? So when you open up your mind, you open up your eyes to certain things, and then like you're realizing that like you I don't even know what I'm trying to say. All I know is that like I just feel closer to God.
I love that.
God, my relationship is stronger. You know, I have a good prayer life. You know, I like to spend time reading scriptures and all that good stuff so that I can hear from God and everything. I just overall feel like this way of eating is like what we're designed to do. This is the way we're designed to eat. It keeps us healthy. It keeps us feeling good. It keeps us energized. It can help with different ailments in your body. You know what I mean? So I've become a better person overall, mentally, spiritually, and just health wise because of the way I eat, you know.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Just your real,
okay.
your real
I'm like,
answer.
am I making sense?
No, yeah, it's good because the reason I asked that is because a lot of people will notice that when they're eating a lot of junk food, they feel like disconnected, not just from their spirituality, but from other people, from food. It's almost like a barrier in a way. And I remember when I was eating a lot of junk food, I had issues like even interacting with other people, let alone myself or with my spirituality, right? It's so difficult when you're so numbed or overstimulated as well, right? Like you can't really focus or go inward as easily as if you were eating whole foods and just like a lot of hydration, you're functioning properly. So you can have those good relationships, not just with other people or yourself, but with God or
you're more in tune with everything.
Totally. Yeah, I found that I have, even though I went vegan for the animals, I felt like the longer I eat this way, the more compassion I feel, not just to the animals, but to other people and the earth and everything. Like I just feel like much more compassion the longer I go on this.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Love it, love it. So, darling, where can people find you on social media?
Well, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
So I have an Instagram at Nicole Richey. Are you gonna? I can give it to you so you can put it.
Yeah, I'll put it right here on the screen.
Okay, because it's kind of a long name. At Nicole Richey Holiday. That's my first, middle, and last name. Is my Instagram. I prefer people just follow me on Instagram. Facebook is whack. They don't have all the fun stuff that Instagram has. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, I hear you. I'm not very big on the Facebook either. I love Instagram. Love it.
Yeah, there's this more thing. Like I don't know if you're into the IG Reels, but I love to do the IG Reels and make videos, and they have the music on there. You can make, it's so fun. Anyway, at Nicole Richey Holiday on Instagram, and then I have a YouTube channel, and it's under Nicole Richey Holiday. So I'll just give her the link, and you guys can subscribe to me. I'm not big like Lissa on there, but just reach one person.
Exactly. That's the whole point, right? Yeah. As long as we can help just one person, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and just to let you guys know, my channel is all things Nicole. So it's all things that I'm into. My health, which is my diet, my hair lock journey. I've been locked for 2 years now, so I share that on there. I share my acting on there, praise dancing. I used to praise dancing. Just, it's all things Nicole. So don't disqualify me if everything's not all plant-based.
Well, that's what we love about you, because you aren't just your diet, right?
Yeah.
So much more. And you guys go check out Nicole's channel, follow her, give her some love. And thank you so much for being on my channel with me today, darling.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this. I feel so honored.
Oh, I'm honored as well, because I really did want to talk to you, because a lot of people who follow me, because I eat all raw, it's hard, because for some people, they're not able to do that. And it's a little more difficult. So I love that we could have a conversation about what it's like if you're just high raw, or like not everybody wants to or can be fully raw.
Right.
And there is different ways to do a plant-based diet. And like you said, it's always about focusing on the whole foods.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Keeping that front and center.
Exactly. Amen.
Awesome. Well, thank you, girl. And I see you on the gram, and I hope all of you see her on the gram as well.
Yes. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Root on.